Well, we already knew that this was probably going to happen at Stellantis, but the company has pulled back on EVs and hybrids as the $7,500 tax credit ends in a little more than a month. That's about how much time you have to take delivery. Documents have to be filed with your DMV by September 30th, or no tax credit for you. So Stellantis has dialed back production, this is from Detroit News, of its electrified lineup, with dealers prevented, like dealers can't even order them if they want. They're being prevented from ordering several models as the end of the federal $7,500 electric vehicle tax credit approaches on September 30th. The car maker wouldn't provide details on the changes, but confirmed at least some production of electric models had paused. In line with our retail priorities and plans shared with our dealer network, we are working to ensure our production plan is in line with consumer demand, aka Hemis. Stellantis spokeswoman Jody Tinson said in a statement, Stellantis retailers said the car maker has either fully stopped or restricted orders on its EV offerings and plug-in hybrids, including the fully electric Jeep Wagoneer S. Can't order it, can't do anything, it's done. Dodge Charger Daytona, told you so, as well as the hybrid Jeep Wrangler, Grand Cherokee, and Chrysler Pacifica. All that 4xe shit, all that plug-in shit. If it's not already at a dealer, you're not ordering one. It's not available. Purchases of the Wagoneer S and Pacifica qualify for the $7,500 tax credit, and those who lease any of the company's other plug-in models also get the discount, but those incentives are soon going away. Dealers selling all types of EVs and plug-in hybrids are trying to sell as many of their existing stock as possible before the tax credit expires. Consumer demand falls and they find themselves with much pricier models sitting on their lots that they just can't sell. Stellantis also has been reminding customers about the end of the EV tax credits on its brand websites. Get your EV incentive while you can, says the Jeep Wagoneer S site, while the Jeep Wrangler 4xe page warns your 7500 EV incentive is going fast. Sam Piorani, Vice President of Global Vehicle Forecasting at Auto Forecast Solutions, said the recent end of California's strictest in the nation's emission policies also impacts Stellantis' need to produce so many of its plug-in hybrids. I said this before. As soon as the carb shit was going out the window, which we know that they're still in California, and that's why you won't be able to buy a Hellcat, a TRX, or any of the rest of that stuff in California until they're not just shut down, but really pushed like face first into the ground, which is going to happen sooner rather than later, like I've been saying. But now that Stellantis is no longer having to pay fines and buy carbon credits from Tesla and all this other bullshit, they're getting back to making things that people actually want. I can tell you right now, from every person that I spoke to that works at the companies of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram that I've spoke to in person recently, none of them wanted to make any of this electrified bullshit. They only did it because they wanted to be able to lower their CAFE standards, their total amount lower, so that they could continue selling Hellcats and things of that nature. And when Tavares, who was a dumbass CEO for the company, basically said, we're not buying credits, we're not doing that anymore, it forced Stellantis' hand to do what they did by releasing the EV charger by itself and not the gas one alongside it, and the Hornet, and all the other massive effing fails. So, could we see this stuff with California change quicker in terms of being able to buy a Hellcat or a 392? Yes. I think after September 30th, when the tax credit goes away, that's also the end of the budget deadline, right? That they have to have a new budget or a continuing resolution. And right now in the House, they're trying to attach HR 4117 and parts of the Transportation Freedom Act to this budget. If that goes through, the California Air Resource Board, while they may still exist to like go after factories, and they will no longer be allowed to say anything or do anything that has to do with cars, trucks, semi-trucks, motorhomes, buses, nothing. They will be stripped of any ability to do anything. And like I said, with some of the recent news with people dying in accidents from illegal aliens that had CDLs, and California still bucking the system in terms of semi-truck rules, the federal government's looking at taking over their Department of Transportation and their DMV anyway. And we can see that happen this coming week. So stay tuned for that. But there you have it. All the EV shit that I told you was going to be put on hold or canceled, it happened. I told you so. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.
For the longest time, whoa, for the longest.
Yo, Percocet, Miley Percocet.